Hey everyone. Oh, wow. This is so nice to be back. Can you all hear me and see me all right? Because already I have had a technical hitch, but we are okay. We are okay. Welcome back, everybody, to the live. I've got to say, I am very glad to be back. I think it's been about a month, maybe a little bit longer. So now we are in season three. We are in season three, my friends. So, do you know what? So glad to be here. Nearly wasn't, but we are here. We are here. Right. So first, oh sorry, I'm jogging the camera. First of all, oh my God, sorry guys. So first of all, wanted to say we do have our favorite moderator back. He is back. So big hello and welcome back, Yang. For those of you that probably haven't even read the messages, he's back. How are you all doing? Where are you all from? I just wanted to know which part of the world you are from. I am now back in the UK reluctantly. Not going to say that I'm happy to be back, but it is what it is. Very cold. So where I was before, so I was traveling in Greece. It was amazing. Really had such an amazing time. Saw some wonderful, beautiful places. So yes. Yes, we're all glad that Yang is back. Definitely. Eric, how are you doing? It's nice to see, the familiar names and Midnight Blue as well, Roxanne. Oh, thanks guys for being here. So today, my friends, today we are talking about the self-obsessed. Yeah, those self-obsessed people. California, Wyoming, Norway, Canada, Edmonton, Denmark. Oh my gosh, guys, amazing. This is so, is it? Okay. I'll try and move that. If I move it, everything's going to move. So I do apologize. I hope you guys can hear me all right. Is it really low? What about now? I'll move closer. Thank you, Oxford, and you're here as well. Oh, this is great. This is so good. Hold on a minute. Let me just see if I can fix that somehow. Hopefully that will be better. Let me know if the sound is better. You know me and my technical hitches. I nearly had a SPAC attack before I came on. One day I'll tell you what happened. Anyway, guys, one thing I do want to say is that I got obviously to 100K a few weeks back, and obviously like I celebrated that. That was a massive achievement for me. Very emotional because it's just something, you know what, like oh brilliant, thank you, Oxford. Like it's something that you got, like you work towards, and it's not oh, and Maria, you're here as well. I was gonna crack a few jokes of our time when we were in Greece. Anyway, I still will. Anyway, so yeah, so you work towards this, and it's been emotional. It's been emotional. I do have to say, there have been obviously setbacks and things like that where, you know how it is. It's not been plain sailing, but I wouldn't have got here to this point if it wasn't for you guys. Do you know that? Like if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. And I will say that when I started this channel, I never in my wildest dreams ever thought that I would get to this point. I really didn't, because it wasn't about the numbers. It wasn't about actually, becoming popular or anything like that. It was just to get this information out. And it always has been. It still is for me about that. But what makes me sad is that, 100,000 people have been affected by this. That's what the saddest thing. So it's a bittersweet, double-edged sword kind of thing. Like, I feel really sad that so many people have been affected by this, but we grow. That's what we've got to look at it, is that we grow from this and we move forward and we get stronger. This isn't something that is going to define us as people, although it does shape us. We can look at it as it's shaping us, but it doesn't define us. So we can move forward and get past this, okay? We don't have to be stuck in the past. Past is gone. Past is over there. We have now and our future, you know? So, yeah, Eric, yes, since 2000, I think it was 2017, 2018, when I started this channel, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Remember, a lot of these videos had really poor sound quality. The video quality was really awful. I was also just like an amateur in this. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I think back and I think to myself, really? But anyway, we've come a long way, guys. We've come a long way since then. And anyway, I am not going to delay this any longer. Here it is. Here it is. So this came whilst I was away in Greece, got delivered to my parents because I didn't want it sitting outside, you know, in the rain. And all I've done, I haven't even opened it, guys. I haven't, so I don't know what it looks like. Okay. All I've done is I just, you know, I slit the thing there. Anyway, I'm going to open it. So I've actually got a lump in my throat. So this is it. Sorry, all these bits are falling out. So I got, congratulations on your subscriber milestone. It's like a little card that says that. And then I got a letter. I got a letter from YouTube. It says, do you remember your first subscriber, your 100th, or your 1,000th subscriber? Chances are you do. I do. I do remember that. And we know that you'll definitely remember your 100,000th subscriber. Here it is, guys. Oh, wow. Oh. That was a bit emotional. But yeah, you know, thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Sorry. Didn't think I was gonna cry. Really didn't. Well, okay. Thank you to all of you. It's been a journey, like it has for all of us. But you know, what this is a reminder that you can achieve anything you want in your life, that you put your mind to, and it doesn't mean that just because we have these really bad, awful experiences in life, oh my God, I hope my voice returns. It doesn't mean that we have to stay stuck. Thank you so much, Guy Next Door. We're turning into a real threat to these charming young fellows. Cough, cough, knocks, cough, cough. Figuring them out feels like sweet, sweet revenge. Oh, you want me to hold it up? Okay. Thank you so much, Guy Next Door. Sorry, Anne, yeah. I'm going to take it out of the plastic. Thank you so much, guys. This is it. There. I'm going to put it on the wall behind. That's what I'm going to do. Anyway. Thank you so much, Oxford. Bless you. Thank you, guys. Oh, I'm gonna watch this live over again because obviously I haven't seen all of your comments and everything. But thank you so much. Yeah, it's just a reminder. You guys can achieve anything you want in your life, anything that you put your mind to. And who's to say that you can't? You know, I was stopped. People tried to stop me to get to this point. But you don't allow anyone to stop you. You keep going forward. It's like what my dad always said. Actually, it's my dad's birthday tomorrow. We're going to this restaurant that plays jazz because he likes jazz music. But he always said to me, he says, Anushka, if they throw you out of the door, you have to climb back through the window. Are you listening to me, Anushka? And I'll be like, yes, Dad. I didn't even know what that meant. I was a teenager at the time. And yeah, I was just like, whatever. But in a way, he was right. You just got to keep going. That's what you got to keep doing. You've got to keep going and not allow people, situations, or experiences to get you down. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. But you have to, thank you so much, guy next door. But you got to keep going. That's what you got to keep doing. Thank you so much, Oxford. Yes. Yes. Thank you. I would tell him that you guys have said happy birthday. He'd be like, oh, who on he calls it Facebook. And I'm like, it's not Facebook, Dad, it's YouTube. He goes, oh, on Facebook they wished me happy birthday. I'm like, yeah, Dad, they did. So we're going somewhere where they play jazz. It's going to be boring. But anyway, it's for Dad. So yeah. Anyway, right. With that out of the way, I've got my voice back. Oh dear, my nose has gone running. Oh, Yang, thank you so much. Yeah. Can you imagine 200K? We will do something for that. So today we are talking about the self-obsessed people. The people who are just something else, aren't they? You know? And these people we are going to be talking about. Now, I'm sure, my friends, that you guys know someone who is like this. I'm sure maybe you have experienced somebody like this. Or I'm sure that you have come across someone like this as well. And let's look at what self-obsession actually means. You know, let's have a look at that, because I think that's what's really important here. When someone is self-obsessed, it means that they really think about themselves. It's just all of the attention and focus goes on themselves. Do you know what? They don't even think about anybody else. They don't acknowledge anybody else. And it's quite a lonely existence. You know, I understand completely. Self-love, self-care, you know, you think about yourself, you want to do things for yourself. But this takes it to another level. Like, this really does take it to another level. This is someone who has no consideration for others. This is someone who doesn't understand necessarily empathy. And empathy is massive. Empathy is a huge thing, actually. That's right, Midnight Blue. They don't consider other people's feelings, emotions, or how their behavior is affecting the other person. Let's talk about empathy for a little bit, because empathy, is not actually something that we are born with. It's something that we are taught, believe it or not, actually. When, it's usually our parents or our caregivers who teach us about empathy, something where we should consider how somebody else feels, how our actions or how the way we speak affects another person. You see, this is taught in childhood, usually between the ages of 5 and 8, 5 years old. Yeah, 5 to 8. This is that time. This is that pivotal moment, when we are learning about the world and ourselves before the ego kicks in, or kind of like when the ego kicks in 8 years plus. Anyway, so this is about understanding how we affect another person. But when this isn't taught to you in childhood, it almost depletes you of emotional intelligence. Okay, so it stops that person from developing emotionally in the correct or in healthy ways. So that part of the brain is underdeveloped. So if you miss that point, if you miss that pivotal moment in that age gap or age group, it's very hard to get that back late in the later years, because as child development goes, you are learning other things. You are learning about the world. This is where the brain's working a little bit differently. You know, from the ages of 0 to 5, the brain is working in lower brain waves, in theta brain waves. So the waves are a lot smaller or shorter, and the child is absorbing a lot of that information. And then from 5 years to, I think it's 8. Oh my God, I don't want to say the wrong thing, and I'm not 100% sure. But obviously the different developmental stages, the brain is going to be working differently. So the child is going to be learning new information about their world, about their environment. Sorry guys, I'm not sure. I will write it in the comments. I will check this, because I don't want to not say facts, if you know what I mean. So when the child misses that window of learning about empathy, how is it then in adulthood they are suddenly going to realize what empathy is? So this is why they become focused on themselves. Another reason why someone would become focused on themselves is when they don't feel very sure about themselves, when they don't have huge amounts of self-worth or confidence within themselves. But they're showing everybody else that they are actually very confident, that they are actually so wonderful. You see, this is where this is narcissism. This is where the narcissistic mind kicks in. Can you see how this is all kind of forming, how this is fitting into these time points, into these slots? Because when this person, all right, has no idea of their world around them, so oblivious, they focus all the attention on themselves, and they think like they're the only ones that are the most important, that they're the only ones that exist in this world, but nobody else matters. They are the most important. It's also because their parents made them feel unimportant. A lot of that has to do with this is the fact that the child was never able to develop, that's right, Midnight Blue, it's fake confidence or toxic positivity. It's very different. When you look at someone at first glance, or when you get to know them, you don't notice it straight away. You kind of think, okay, this person's really confident. They've got all their stuff together. They got all this going on. But when you spend time with them, you get to realize that actually something isn't right with this person, because having toxic positivity and then someone who is positive, the two look very, very different. And I guess what I'm talking about here is one is pathological and one is healthy. And then there is a difference between the two of them. Sorry, guys. So when you really think about it, oh, I've lost my trail of thought. What was I saying? Yeah, when they are confident and they're showing this to everybody else and they're thinking, yeah, like, I'm so amazing, I'm so wonderful. I mean, obviously they're not going to say that, but their body language and everything will make you think that they are. But actually, on the inside, it's a different story. Okay, this person doesn't feel like that at all. This person is masking years and years of them feeling unimportant. So what they're doing is they're searching for this in other people. Does that make sense? So they're searching for this, for someone else to validate them, and they're looking for this through other people. Does that make sense, guys? Because it's really strange. It's a very strange thing that this person does. But when you think about it, like when you really, really, thank you so much. The guy next door, again, thank you. So the guy next door says, I had a boss who threw people under the bus without any remorse. He even seduced another man's girlfriend and knocked her up. Wow. He had 5 CEO jobs in 3 years. Yes, this is a perfect example. Perfect example. So he's the boss. He is a boss, pushed everyone aside, making them think that they are no good. 5 CEO jobs in 3 years. That's a bit much, isn't it? My goodness, that is a bit much. So can you see, this is a great example of toxic confidence, because do you know what? If you are someone, all right, if you are someone who really genuinely is a good boss, a good person, you care about, your team, because when you're a boss, it's not just you're managing a team. All right. And so this person obviously didn't care. It was all about themselves. That is the self-obsession. Can you see? It's very much dysfunctional ego. All right. It's when the ego becomes maladaptive. All right. So for him, it was all about survival. So this is what I talk about in the video, guys. It's this competition. It's this hierarchy. Yeah. It's this, I'm better than you. No matter what you say or do, I'm better than you. Yeah, that's how they think. They've got to always come out on top, regardless what it is. You're not in competition with them, but they're in competition with you. This is why, do you know what? I even done the video today. Why they always have to watch you, because they think that they own you. They think that they can be better than you. They think that they can make this work and you're nothing. So it's this underlying competition. You can't be doing better than them when they leave or when you leave. You can't be doing better. You're not allowed to move on. They see people as indispensable, as transactional. You see, and that's what I mean. This is why they have to be in competition with you. And if we really look at that, look at the mindset of that person. Look at the mindset that this person is displaying. Like, what the hell? Seriously, what is this about? But this is what I mean. Like, their behavior, even their behavior, okay, no matter what they do, is they've got to always be that one bit better. That just that little bit better than you, or they've got this better than you. So it's always this underlying competition. It gets annoying. Like, I've had I've had experiences with people like this before, where there's always someone that is doing that little bit better, and also sometimes they may even mirror you. This is another huge thing as well, that people who are self-obsessed, okay, they will mirror others, or they may even take on certain traits, of this person that they're trying to, what's the word, that they're trying to, it's like one-upmanship. They're trying to get one up on that person. So they will mirror that person so that they integrate their identity. And it's quite scary what happens. It's quite scary that these people do that. And at the time, you're like, oh, why? I remember I had this girl. She copied my hair, my makeup, my clothes. I was quite young at the time. I think I was like in my early 20s. And I was thinking to myself, this is a bit weird. Like, why are you doing that? And I realized that actually what this person was doing is they had to feel better. They had to feel better than me. So it was a competition. I wasn't in competition with this girl. This girl was quite pretty, actually. So every time, like we had gone out, we'd gone to a party or something, she had to be there with the most expensive, with the most designer stuff. And I was just like, how are you affording all of this designer stuff? Like, wow. But it's always this competition. I'm better than you. And what usually happens is, because of this person integrates themselves, or really takes you on, they want to be you. This is how they get that information. This is how they feel superior when they get one up on you. This is how they feel good about themselves, because what this does is this squashes you and makes them feel good about themselves. Malika, you're absolutely right. They steal your identity. Yes, midnight blue, mirroring nods or project on us. Yeah, they do. And so in these cases, it's about to just integrate themselves within us, but then they think they can become a better version of us. I mean, you know, like, why? But for them, it feels like it's a win. For them, it feels like they feel superior because they don't want you to do good. They feel jealous of you. They don't like the fact that you are doing better than them, or that you are like this. They can't deal with it. And yeah, you're right, Mr. Hazel Eyes. It's weird. It's very strange behavior. But when you don't have an identity of your own, how can you develop your own identity? How can you develop yourself when you don't actually have a developed sense of self? Again, if we go back into childhood, when you are at the beginning stages of your adolescence, okay, from like 11, 12 onwards, you know, you're developing who you are. You're at that point where, you know, you're trying to learn about yourself. You know, your ego is developing, your identity. You know, you feel like, thank you so much, Carl Heinspath, thank you so much. The most painful experience, 5 months since discard, tried many ways, still ruminating a bit. Imagined my brain is a rock crusher. This worked. Turning the big rock thoughts into small pieces, then into dust, gone with the wind. Oh, bless you. You're trying to understand it and you're working through this. Thank you so much. So 5 months since the discard. So I'm sure, bless you, thank you very much. I'm sure that you are trying to work through this and you're trying to understand this, and this is exactly what happens. And it's really good that you use that as an analogy of your rumination, of your overthinking, and that you like use these as big rocks and then you crush them. This is a really good way to look at it. What happens is, what I would say to you is, if these thoughts get too intense, I would say to you is use distraction. Something that I did say to my client the other day, I said to her, do you know what? Why don't you listen to like your favorite song in the car, put it up like full blast and just play it and sing along to it. Even for that, 2 or 3 minutes until that song lasts, you just really concentrate on the lyrics of that song. You sing that, you do that. That will really help. I think, Carl, for you at the moment, because it can be intense, there will be good days and there will be bad days. You're at the point where you're still processing all of these thoughts. And what I would say to you is just try to really just distract for the time being. I know this is not a long-term solution, but try to just distract yourself from it by doing certain things, like maybe getting out into nature, listening to your favorite music, maybe even going to the gym or doing some exercise, walking the dog if you have one. What else? Playing games, I don't know, on your phone. It's just anything that will distract you for the moment. It's just to give your brain like a break from overthinking, because I know that this can get like intense. I hope that's helped, Carl. Thank you so much, Guy Next Door. Bless you. Thank you again. Thank you. Narcs shift identities like a chameleon. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. And the reason why they do that is because they're scouting for supply. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for someone else to entertain them. Remember, narcissists can't be on their own. Narcissists hate very much to be on their own. So what they do is they try to distract themselves. The reason why they can't be on their own is because it means that they have to look at themselves. They have to look at their own selves, their own past, and they don't want to do that. This is all about someone else distracting them, someone else providing entertainment for them, and that's why they can't be on their own. So when they have another person that they are going to take their identity, someone else who is going to you know, provide that entertainment, they will then take on that person's identity. Remember, narcissists want to fit in because they've never, what's the word? They've never really felt like they've belonged, you know? So in order for them to feel like they belong somewhere, they need to fit in, so to speak. They need to fit in to the background. They need to feel accepted, which is, if you think about it, but as I was saying, I was just thinking, you know, like when you first get into a relationship with a narcissist, they do the same thing, don't they? Because they trick you into staying. They trick you into believing that they are this wonderful person, that they are this person that is exactly like you. And so that's what they're doing. They basically trick you into staying. You're right, Oxford. This is such a horrible life. God has given to this beautiful life and they squander it. They all have choices. Let's not forget about that. They have choices on how they want to live, on how they want, you know, their lives to go. You do have choices. You know, no one has a wonderful childhood. Everyone has something happen. You know, so we will make choices on how we go forward, if you really think about it. Yeah, you're right, the gyno. So they can be alone for limited periods of time if they had enough supply, but most of the time they need supply, like a car needs fuel to operate. I love that. That's exactly it. Yes. Thank you, Eric. Absolutely. Hit the like button, guys. I can't see the like how many people are on here. But yeah, however, if you are watching and you're not in the live chat, that's absolutely fine, guys. Just hit the like button, please. Thank you. So this is all about the attention. Again, part of the self-obsession, isn't it, my friends? Part of the self-obsession. You know, they need someone to give them something. And it's almost that they trick that person. They trick the person into giving them that. Because it's not something that you're wanting or you're willing to give. This is part of it. Another big part of the self-obsession is the lies. Okay, in order for you to keep this going or keep this up, is you got to lie. Come on. Because if you are trying to steal someone's identity or become someone else, mirror someone, you are trying to get their attention. You're trying to show the world that you're this amazing person, but none of it is actually true. You got to be a really good liar. You got to remember the lies that you have told. And this is what they are. This is why the lying comes in with their behaviors. The lie is about making themselves feel or look better than they actually are. That's what lies are. They're false truths. So if this person is lying so much, if this person is not truthful and authentic, so again, this proves the point that this person doesn't have a stable sense of self. They don't have an identity. And they don't know who they are. So they have to keep making this up. They have to keep making this facade up. This facade that none of it is actually true. So when they're creating this identity, they are becoming more aligned with that fake profile of who they are. And they're becoming even more so entrenched in that identity. But this identity isn't true. It's not actually who they are. You're absolutely right. They are con artists. Yes, they are. They con you into believing something that they are not. So the self-obsession becomes this identity. It's not really them. It's the identity that they are obsessed with. Does that make sense? So when you're obsessed with something that isn't you or part of you, they don't feel integrated to anything. They don't feel part of anything. So using this identity makes them feel good, makes them feel like they are like everybody else, because on some level, they know that they are not like me or you. They know that there is something not okay, which is why they display these behaviors. Oh no, Yang, it looks like you're also having technical issues like me tonight. I hope it does work again. Oxus says, yes, they live like a character. This is a very good analogy. You're right, Oxford. And I think it takes us time to realize this. It takes us time to understand this, that actually, you know what? The person who we fell in love with, the person who we love and cherish, you know, for example, if it's a family member, you know, they have a role of the mother or the father or a sibling, like a sister or a brother, an auntie or an uncle, a boyfriend, a husband, a wife, a girlfriend, you know, a sister or a brother. So each of those words, each of those assigned roles or identities means something to us. But when that person doesn't live up to that role or that assigned identity, it really hurts us. So for example, you know, if my father was a narcissist, I would, thank you so much, guy next door. Thank you again. That's why online dating is a huge risk. It's a hunting ground for narcissists because of the possibility of creating the perfect facade online. Yes. And Southern Grace, guy next door, I'm going to answer your question in just a moment. What should you do if you are self-aware narcissist in a 16-year tug of war called marriage with an unaware narcissist? Southern Grace, I'm going to answer your question in just a moment. So the guy next door, you are absolutely right. We do have to be aware of online dating because, again, we can be anybody who we want to be online and we don't know who is actually real and who is not. And I think it's really important to remember that this online dating is a huge risk. I know that for a lot of us, it's the only way that we can connect to others, but it's not only. But just to have your, you know, your guards up, like really honestly, take your time. If you are someone who is dating with someone online, just really, 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 really be careful. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it really works. Because you lose that true connection. Like, you know, when you're trying to meet someone or you're trying to date someone, you know, it's like, it's better to get to know them like face to face, you know. This is why this online dating, it is a huge risk. But thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. So remember, guys. And Southern Grace, what should you do if you are a self-aware narcissist in a 16-year tug of war called marriage with an unaware narcissist? Wow. Okay. So that's going to be pretty tough. That's going to be quite a harsh dynamic. If you're aware of your behaviors, then it's going to be really difficult for you to be with another narcissist. I don't know how to answer that question. I guess it's going to continue to be a tug of war, I guess, until the both of you are willing to work on your relational dynamic. But 16 years is a long time to keep going. I think you really have to think about what you want from, or what you are getting from this dynamic, and what do you actually want going forward. Is this serving you in any way? Is this making you feel happy? If it is, then you know, you need to do what is right for you. That's what I would say. Yeah, I hope that helps. So the point I was trying to make is, let's say, for example, my dad was a narcissist. I know it's his birthday and I feel really bad saying he's not, but just using him as an example. The connotation of father or dad, okay, I have certain expectations of him as a father. But when that isn't given or when that's not done, that makes me feel like, well, why is it? Am I not deserving of, am I not a good daughter? Why is my dad treating me like this? Do you see what I mean? Or if my sister was a narcissist, I'd expect my sister to be like my best friend. We'd do things together. But if she was narcissistic, it will be about the competition. And I'd feel really bad because I think that I wasn't being a good person or there was something wrong with me. See, what I'm saying is that we internalize it. We internalize these behaviors and we think that we need to fix them in some way. But can you see how these roles, these specific roles, these people in our lives, the meaning that they have? And when that person is narcissistic or toxic or self-obsessed with themselves, it's really, really tough. It's really, really difficult to be able to get past that. It's like our cognition doesn't fathom it, doesn't really understand it. So what you have to do in these situations, because I know a lot of you are faced with these, what you have to do is you have to see the person for who they are. They don't know how to be a parent. They don't know how to be a partner. They don't know how to be a sibling, a friend, a boss. And in some way, don't shoot me for saying this, but it's not like they mean it. It's just this is their way of being. They don't actually know another way of being. A narcissist, I'm sorry, this is just my opinion. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that a narcissist can change. I don't believe that a narcissist in themselves, when they really look at themselves, I don't think that they can actually change, because it's a neurological, it's an emotional, cognitive process that actually it can't be changed, because this is the maladaptive childhood that they had. This can't be changed. There's certain neurological and biological processes that have been formed a certain way. Guys, just wanted to say, I really hope that you're enjoying the live so far. I really hope that you're, getting something from it. I'm really glad that you're here. If you are not on the live chat, that's also fine. I hope you're enjoying it. But please press the like button. It will really help to get this information out there for others who may need to hear this. So you'd be doing these people a great service. So I really hope that you press the like button. And don't be shy. Please do participate in the live chat. We are all friends here. We're all family. And you're not going to be judged. You're going to be absolutely fine. Oxford, bless you, my dear. Thank you. In shock and tears, realising I trusted my cruel, selfish, demonic narc mother to be a mum. I never had a mum. It hurts, Anushka. I can't stop crying. Bless you, my dear. I completely empathise with you. I'm not going to say I know how it feels, because I don't, but I completely empathise with you, Oxford. You know what, my dear? It's not your fault. You were met with this situation, but one thing that you have to realise is look at where you are now. Look at where you are right now. No, you didn't have a mother, and your mother didn't know how to be a mother, but you know how to be a mother. You know how to be a woman, how to be an amazing person, and look how far you have come. I know looking back in the past, it hurts, but it doesn't mean that it's got to be part of your future right now. I'm sending you the biggest, warmest hug ever, okay? I really am. And you know what? You keep doing the work. You are a real trooper. You really are. You are amazing. And you have so much resilience. Okay? You have so much resilience and strength. And it's honestly an honor to know you. And it's hard for us. I know that this content is going to trigger some of you. And I really, honestly, I really wish that it wouldn't. I really wish that it didn't. But I know that it does, because I know that each and every one of us have been through this. And what we're talking about here today isn't easy to hear. And honestly, to every single one of you who is really suffering at the moment, please know that these people come into our lives to teach us something about us, okay? To show us actually how much strength we have got, how much courage we have to walk this path. You're welcome, Oxford. You're welcome. How much courage we actually have to walk this path and to experience the things that we do. But what it does teach us about ourselves is that actually, you know what? Just because this person has been in our lives doesn't mean that it's got to be our future, that we've got to look at this, that we are, victims in all of this. We're not victims. We don't have victim mentality. That's not what this is about. This is about rising up and leveling up, okay? This is about really becoming the truest version of ourselves. Because if we allow these people to get to us, not only have they taken our time, our love, our kindness, our patience, our empathy, our compassion, and the list can go on, that's fine. That's fine. They can have that. But from now on, all of the things that you had given to this person, you are now going to take that back and give it back to yourself. That's what you're going to do, because you're not a victim. Okay, none of you are victims. All right. Thank you so much, Guy Next Door. Bless you. Bless you so much. Thank you. So the so-called ex-narcissists have either been misdiagnosed. So-called ex-narcissists have either been misdiagnosed, have narcissistic traits they managed to work on, or is full of hogwash. NPD is permanent. Thank you. I completely agree. My sentiments exactly. I do think it is a permanent condition, because you've got to think, right? We're not just talking about narcissism. What we're talking about is a personality disorder. Now, I have some experience working with personality disorders. I did very early on in my training, actually, and I know that you can medicate, but it doesn't eliminate the issue. All it does do is it contains the behaviors. And whilst there are different therapeutic interventions that you can use for, personality disorders, like DBT, which is dialectical behavioral therapy, it only works to a certain point, because what we're trying to do here is amend behaviors. But this isn't behavioral. This is behavioral and emotional. There's many different components and moving parts to this. So if we really think about it, this is a personality disorder. And when you really think about it also, is that we all have a personality. How can it be easy to diagnose someone who has a disordered personality? It's quite hard to spot. It's quite hard to spot when someone has a dysfunctional, disorder. Southern Grace, bless you, thank you very much. You have to fight on a daily basis, just like you do in addiction, which I fight as well. Bless you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much for being here, and also your bravery in being able to speak up about it. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yes, and I'm sure that having to fight it, having to do that is a struggle. But you know what? I admire you, because you recognize it and you're trying to work through it. So I know that isn't easy. It is tough. And it's, again, also it's part of your childhood, which was dysfunctional, which is why this has happened. So I do rate you for being able to speak up about it. So thank you very much. Michelle asks, can a narcissist ever be happy? Happy in the sense in themselves or in a relationship. I don't know if they really can really embody the actual emotion of happiness. Maybe. Thank you, Sun and Grace. I'm glad they do. I'm glad they do. Thank you. Any person is capable of change. Yeah, maybe. Hoffa, maybe it's true. Maybe they can. Maybe certain people can change or adapt. But can a narcissist be happy? Michelle, I don't think so. Not truly like understand the meaning of happiness. Oh, I see, guy next door. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. No problem. Malika says, Lee Hammock from Mental Health is a self-aware narcissist and have been in therapy for 6 years now. He said that he has to go to therapy for the rest of his life. Yes, that's right. He will have to go. Yes, because it's an adaptation of the way that the person thinks, and that's how therapy would work in this scenario, in this case. So yeah, so there are varying opinions, and I really respect everybody's opinion here. It's just something that I personally think. It's not it. Everyone has their own opinion, and I respect that. So there are exceptions, and there are people who can, but we all have our own opinion, and it's absolutely fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I respect that. So yeah, going back to what we were saying is that actually, when these roles are assigned, we have certain connotations. No worries, I'm saying thank you for joining. We have certain connotations and certain expectations, of this person, the certain roles that they have. And it really hurts us a lot when this person doesn't live up to those expectations or those roles. So one thing that we have to realize is that we have to look at it. It's that person, and what we do is we form expectations. Now, you know the danger of expectations, don't you, my friends? When you have expectations of something or someone, we expect that someone or that something to go a certain way. And there's a danger in that. There is a real danger in that, because we are wanting a certain outcome, aren't we? When we have expectations, we want something to turn out a certain way. And you know the danger of that, don't you? Is disappointment and upset and hurt because that something didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to. This is what I always say, my friends. We have to take a step back and remain fluid in all of this. We have to remain detached. And it's not easy. It is really not easy when in society and our, for a better word, programming, it's about being attached. That's what we are taught. We are attached to outcome. We are attached to something, because when we have this, it means we are this. We create meaning, don't we? If I have a Louis Vuitton handbag, it means I'm rich. It means I'm cool, right? If I have a Porsche, I wouldn't mind a Porsche actually. Anyway, if I had a Porsche, it means that I have a certain status, right? That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, you're right. That's right, Eric. Your misplaced hope leads to disillusionment. That's right. Spiritual footing, whatever one must find it. Yeah, it's true. Guy next door, thank you. Bless you. Thank you so much. However you feed a wolf, she will always look to the forest. Anthony Chekhov. Thank you. This is a really good analogy. However you feed a wolf, she will always look to the forest. It's their natural habitat. They'll always go back to what they know. Yes, I agree with that. And that's a beautiful analogy. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Thank you, Guy next door. So it's about being detached, and we have to teach ourselves to be detached from outcome. We don't own anyone, or we don't belong to anybody, if that makes sense. We are our own being. So, you know, how can I give an example? My friend. Okay, I'll give you an example. So I have a friend, and she was saying to me, you know, she was pregnant at the time, and she was saying to me, oh, you know what? My husband, he keeps going out, he keeps coming in at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you know, I'm pregnant. What if something happens? You know, I'm really worried because it's you know, the baby's it's near to the due date, and this is just unbelievable. Like I said to him, you know, that you've got this week, the next week, and then that's it, because then we have to think about, you know, like the baby's going to be due. I don't know why this example came to my mind, but it did. So sorry, guys, I'm going to use this example. So I said to her, yeah, but you know what? Okay, fine. Like he's going out. He's obviously feeling this need, you know, that he's going to be a father, you know, and, you know, he wants to go out with his friends. And it's kind of like he feels like being a young man again without no responsibilities, no everything. And I said, that's probably why. It's not that he's doing it to upset you or because he doesn't love you. It's none of that. But she said, but it's not fair. Like, look what he's doing. And I said, so instead of you getting annoyed, change the way that you look at it. Okay, because how many times are you going to keep telling him? And then you've got arguments and all of that. And I said to her, why don't you detach from the situation? You don't own him. I know a lot of you will disagree with me. But yeah, okay, he's your husband, but you don't own him as a person. Let him make his own decisions to come to you. He's behaving in this way for a certain reason. And she was like, Anushka, you know what? That really helps. So there was no divorce, and the baby was born absolutely fine. She had a girl in the end, actually. Lovely little girl. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say, is that when we remain detached, we're not going to get so disappointed. People behave in certain ways, okay, but it's not done to hurt us, or, you know, they're doing it, especially they are acting out of their own childhood wounds, of their way of understanding the world. Even narcissists, yes, my friends, even narcissists. And they are aware that certain behaviors create certain outcomes, but in terms of emotions and understanding how they are making you feel, or they are understanding how their behavior or the way that they make you feel, the way that they trigger you, yeah, they use certain triggers to get a certain outcome, but they don't fully understand how these triggers are really, really affecting you. So it's, in a way, it's not done to hurt you in that way. It's basically to meet the narcissist's need, a certain outcome. They want a certain something to happen. That's why they do it. So, for example, they may put you down because they feel that they feel that you are doing better. They feel that you are a better person than them. So they've got to put you down so that they feel good. It's almost as though they take on your energy. They want to feel good about themselves. So by putting you down makes them feel good. They're not doing it to, how do I say it? They're not doing it. They're doing it to basically further their own need. There is a selfish part of them, and that selfishness is the self-obsession. Guys, I don't know. That was a tongue twister. I hope I've explained that really well. I really do. Yeah. So if it didn't make sense, please let me know. Please let me know in the comments. So really, my friends, this self-obsession is a protective technique. Is a protection, so that their fragile sense of self doesn't get destroyed. Thank you, all of you, for being here. For those of you that are new to the live chat or the live stream, please, if you could press the like button, that would be amazing. Thank you. Yeah, in constant competition. You're right, Michelle. They are in constant competition. Stephen says, not so sure. They seem very intentional to me. Intentional, yeah, like I'm sure, yes, it is intentional, but intentional to get their own needs met. Hoffa says the best thing to do is to move on with your own life, work on your own problems and awareness, and you will forget about the narc. Yeah, this is about centering the attention and energy onto you. That's what it is in the end, my friends. It really is all about you. It's about whether you want to experience this, whether you want to take this on. I think this is more about you gaining the understanding of what this really is, of what's going on here, and whether you are going to allow this to happen to you, allow this to, continue. This is about you, my friends. It's always been about you. And look, if you think about it, right, even when I was talking about, the narcissists, when they try to mirror you, when they try to be you, when they try to put you down, when they try to make you feel like you're not good enough. Guys, thank you so much. Guy next door and M Singh, bless you. They do it to maintain control. Yeah, they do. Oh my gosh, control for them is so huge. But the reason why they want to be in control is because of their anxiety. They have to control because they need to know what the next step is. They need to know what the next thing is going to be. And when they know that, my friends, when they know that, they can anticipate their next move. Because remember, it's all about you. It's always been about you. Thank you very much, the guy next door. And M Singh, bless you, thank you. I actually no longer want to be with anyone. Oh, I'm so detached. I don't feel I'll be able to get into a relationship again. It's sad. It's sad someone has made me feel this way. How can I change this? M Singh, you are going to change this. You are not going to stay alone and on your own. Okay, this is how you feel right now. And I can tell you categorically, you are not going to stay on your own. If it means I have to come to North London in person to change your mind, I will, okay? You are not going to stay on your own, okay? Because that's not who you are. You belong, or you deserve to be with somebody when you're ready. And these are just your beliefs about you right now, okay? This is just what's going on for you right now. And you are not a victim, because what you're saying here is, I don't want to be in a relationship because I'm scared. You are not a victim. You are going to process this. You are going to work through this, and you're going to be okay. All right? You are so going to be okay. And first of all, you need to start trusting yourself. Okay? You are not going to be in another narcissistic or a toxic relationship. Okay? Because you are going to trust yourself. The one thing that you have is intuition. All right. And you're going to listen to that, your gut feeling about somebody. Not everybody is narcissistic. All right. I promise you that they're not. But you have to trust yourself first. And once you get to that point, you are then going to be able to feel more confident and better within yourself. And that confidence is going to attract the right people and the right person when you are ready. But you are not going to be on your own for the rest of your life. Okay? Dwayne says, would my narc still try and return after I discarded her and she smeared me to the public? Oh my God. If so, I find that crazy to think she would return. I don't know, Dwayne. I don't know, because you discarded her, so that's huge narcissistic injury. And then she got you back for punishment by smearing you to the public. I don't know. She might try and get in contact a few years down the line, like when the dust has settled. But I don't know if she will return for a fully fledged round, whatever round it is. I don't know. Maybe not. I think probably in this case, probably not. Oh, Oxford, yes, we do. Don't worry. Southern Grace says, take your power back. That's advice from a self-aware narc. It belongs to you, not them. Thank you very much. Bless you. Thank you for saying that. And it's true. And you as well, Southern Grace, you know, you do have to take your power back. And this is what I was saying. It's always been about you. Think about it, right? When they are mirroring, who are they mirroring? You. When they are valuing you, when they are putting you on a pedestal, who are they doing that? You, because they're worshipping you. They want to be you. They want to take on your identity, your personality, all of those things. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's always been about you. So you make that decision. When they are discarding you, they are putting you down because they are punishing you. They are punishing you because you didn't do something. You weren't compliant, or you didn't behave in the way that you did before. You behaved in a different way, which is why it's always been about you. You make the choice. You make the decision. We made the choice to stay because we thought that this person was going to change, that we were going to feel sorry for them, and that hopefully our love was going to change them, and that we could save them. We could make them a better person. And if we love them harder, they will get better. Again, it's always been about us. So if we take that back, all right, if we take that back and really look at it and think, right, we're taking our power back. Like, this is what I was saying to you before. You're not victims. You're not victims. You are more than that. Even the word survivor, you are more than that. Okay? This is you take your power back and go, right, I'm going to learn from this. I'm not going to let this person defeat me. All they have done, all right, is try to be you that whole entire time. This self-obsession, this lying, this the mirroring, the love bombing, all of that has been because of you. They wanted to take something from you. Does that make sense? They have always wanted... Yeah, that's right, guy next door. They've always wanted something from you. And because you're not giving it, they get frustrated, they get irritated, they get annoyed. And so you get punished. You get punished into submission. And that's what it is. That's why this happens. Does that make sense? So this is about you taking this back to you right now. Thank you, Midnight Blue. You are right. We are thrivers. We are thrivers on another level, guys. On another level. And so you've got to think, if this narcissistic individual, this toxic person, could see your gifts, you know, your traits, your personality, and all of that, why can't you see it? Why? You have to protect it. You need to start protecting it. Because if they saw these qualities and this energy, this life force energy that you've got, you now have to protect it. You now have to, you know, look after it. This is what they mean about boundaries. Because a lot of people out there, they're like, oh, you know, you have to put boundaries in place. You have to, but why do you have to put boundaries? A lot of us don't really understand it. I've got to say, I've got to admit, guys, I was like, boundaries? What are boundaries? What are they? But when I really understood it, when I really embraced it, I thought, okay. So this is about protection, isn't it? This is about protecting my energy, my kindness, my compassion, all of these things. Those are my gifts. And I'm not going to be giving them out, you know, just like that for anybody. And it's not even that person has to earn it. That person, you know, I have to do that for myself first and not give it out all the time to everybody else. Because those are your assets. Okay, it's like, do you know what? It's like if you say you had £1,000 or dollars or euros in your bank, and it's like giving the sort code, an account number, or the IBAN to your account, and that everybody can just take. You're going to be left with no money. And that's the same thing. So you need to put it in a safe, secure place. And you need to look after it to help it to grow into more money. Just, do you know what I mean? That's what boundaries are. That is what protecting yourself is. All right? So all of that you give out to that person, to the narcissist, or to like if they're your family members, or with your partner or friends or siblings, you know, you have to protect it. not everybody is worthy of your energy and of your friendship, of your relationship. Not everyone's worthy of that. So you really need to be careful who you hang around with, who you spend time with, who you're giving your energy to. Not everyone deserves that. And you have to be very mindful of this. You will lose friends. You will lose friends along the way. But it's really important for you to start considering yourself first. This is your life. You have this life, and it's this life right now that is important. Eric, bless you. You know what? We all overgave. I think when we were children, you know, I know my parents always told me to look after my sister, make sure everyone else is okay, make sure you've done everything. And when we used to have, you know, my aunties and uncles round, you've got to make sure that they have enough food, that they've got enough water. You've got to hang their jackets up or put them on the bed upstairs because there wasn't enough space in the wardrobe downstairs. Like all of those things. You've got to make sure that the family, your sister, everyone's okay. All about me. So yeah, I know what that's like. So we do have to start now thinking, okay, because for a lot of us this was cultural. I know, I agree, like not everyone had the same upbringing, but yes, mine was like this. And so I know that it can be cultural, so we do also need to think about ourselves as well. Yeah, and you're right, Malika, boundaries make healthy relationships. Yeah, Singh, that's true. You've lost friends, but you're happy. Exactly. Strong boundaries. That's what's important. That is what is important, is about looking after yourself and realizing that actually you don't have to like overshare, overgive. And sometimes, this is another thing, sometimes what we might do is give too much information. So when we meet somebody, not necessarily in a romantic sense, but you know, like friend, like new friends, or romantically or whatever, sometimes you have to be aware that actually we do overshare, we do give too much information. And then so someone asks me, so where do you draw the line? But hold on, guys, do you need to be telling this person everything? You can tell them like little by little, you know, little by little. And that's what I'm saying. Take your time when you meet new people. And this is for you, Singh, as well. Take your time, my dear. Take your time. All right? We are not in a rush. Okay? Because you have to understand what this person's intentions are. Okay? Remember, you got to trust your gut. You got to trust you first. You got to trust your intuition. That is what is important. So when we look after ourselves, when we have the protection, we are then able to understand and see if another person is really toxic, is really self-obsessed. Self-obsessed people tend to tell a lot of lies. That's one thing that I have learned. They just lie, but you know, like right at the beginning, you're not going to know. You're not going to notice that actually they're saying these lies because you don't really know that person. You don't really know that they're telling the lies. And that's what they're counting on. The fact that you don't know them too well, or you don't know them so well. Like that's how they get to you, which is why narcissists always like new people in their orbit, or they like news supply, or they have a lot of people. So they don't get close to anybody. And they don't invest in these relationships because they don't want someone to know too much about them. Which is why they lie so much. That's what they do. And so it's really important to notice these things, like, has someone got a lot of friends and a lot of partners? Have they got a lot of exes? That's another thing you've got to look out for. If they have, be wary. I'm not saying everyone who has a lot of exes or has a lot of friends, they are narcissistic, but just, build a picture of this person. If you find or you catch this person in a lie, just, get to know them, get to know what's going on. Yeah, that's true, Stephen. Exaggeration is a form of manipulation too. That's another good point, actually. Exaggeration. When you exaggerate the truth, or you exaggerate what actually happens, this makes that person look good. Why is that person? And hold on a minute. You got to think, why does a person have to over exaggerate? Why is the person so obsessed with themselves that they have to lie? They bring all the attention and the focus on themselves. Why do they do that? Think about it. Why does someone have to do that? Is it because that they inside they don't feel so good enough, that they are not great, they have to, take on somebody else's identity because they inside don't feel good about themselves? That's why they do it. Because they themselves don't know who they are. They don't feel good about themselves. So if you obsess about yourself, what you're doing is you're taking all the attention, all the energy, and the focus on you. So when you've got other people's energy and focus and attention on you, this is when you come alive. You feel good. This is where you perform. You become the false you. The false profile of you. You. It's almost like you act, because it's not you. You're right, Malika. Insecurity. Mr. Hazel Eyes, the mask will fall off. It is. The mask will always fall off because it's not a true representation of you. They can do this for a short amount of time. But in actual fact, if they're not going to be able to do it all the time. How can you? You've got to remember the lie. Like, it takes so much energy to be able to remember what you have said, what you have done, what you've said to this person, what you said to that person. Like, you're not going to be able to remember. Although, do they have like amazing memories? I don't know. Thank you so much, guy next door. Bless you again. If people seem too friendly, too interested, too caring, and ask too many questions too early, they might collect things to use against us later. Good point. Absolutely good point. Yes. When people seem too good to be true, or they're just too nice, you've got to remember, within these friendships or these relationships, this happens very quickly. All right, you're already living together, getting married within the first week, All right, I'm being sarcastic here. It's not. It doesn't happen that quick. But what I'm saying is, it does happen in a really short amount of time, because what they're doing is they don't want you to leave. They want you to stay. They don't want you to leave. So they try and trick you into staying. Try and trick you into believing that actually they are the most wonderful person in the whole entire world, and that you will never want to be with anybody else but them, or you'll never want another friend. And you're absolutely right, Mr. Hazel. You just got to give it time, because actually that person will show themselves in time. Everything is shown, and that is what you have to remember, my friends. Yeah, that's right, Midnight Blue. That's why they don't take on another's identity, because you can't be someone else. You can only be yourself, right? But they pretend. So can you see, like, so much energy, so much time goes into being this fake person, drawing in bits and particles of people, of situations. Can you imagine being so self-obsessed with yourself, taking on other people's identity and like fragments of various people exist within each and every narcissist, or each and every toxic person that does this. So they become kind of like a bag, or an amalgamation of many people. So they're not really actually themselves. They become many different people that are not fluid, that are not congruent. So they don't really know who or what they actually are. So when they concentrate on themselves and demand this behavior, demand this attention from others, and just focus on themselves, this is what gives them power. This is what gives them that false confidence. Yeah. Had a million friends, Mr. Hazel Eyes. Yes, they do. Because they are fragments of each and every one of those people, because they need to fit in, or they want to fit in, you know? Like, it's almost that they have to feel a sense of belonging, because they've never felt like they have belonged anywhere. They've always been made to feel like they are alone. This is why their core wounds is rejection or abandonment, because they've never felt part of anything. They've not had a family, or they've not had, not necessarily not had a family, but they've not had a family that really cared for them, or really noticed them, or really valued them as a person. So they want to get that attention. They want to get that value from someone else, from other people. They want to recreate that. And that's what it is. It's really quite sad, actually, because they are people who are lost in the world, looking for their family, looking for that love, looking for their mother, looking for their father. You know, they're looking for these things to, you know, to make them feel like they are a part of something. And that's why they mirror. That's why they demand this attention from others. It's true, Midnight Blue. What an exhausting existence. Except for them, it's not exhausting. For them, it's something that they crave. You know, they really crave this. When you are not given something in childhood, you go out to find it in adulthood. You're right, Mr. Hazel. As the truth, she'll set you free. So, is self-obsession toxic? Obsession in itself is toxic, isn't it? It's something that has negative connotation. But also, whilst you're maybe experiencing it, it's like a drug. It's like it feels good but bad at the same time, right? If you think about it, when you become obsessed with something, it's like you want it more and more and more, but you can't get enough of it. So every time you're wanting more of it, you're never getting enough of it. Does that make sense? So how can that be positive? How can that be a good experience or a good feeling? It's not, because in your mind, you're always lacking something, because when you're obsessing about something, it's something that you don't have. It's something that you want, but you don't have. So you become obsessed. You think about it all the time. It's an overthinking, isn't it? It's almost like there's an anxiety to it because you don't have it, but you really want it. So if we apply that to the narcissist, self-obsessed, so you're obsessed with yourself. You're obsessed with something that you don't have. You don't actually have the real self. So that is the connotation, or that's the analogy, sorry. That's the analogy. You don't actually have yourself. You're chasing something that you don't have. You don't have yourself. Yeah? So even though we look at it and we think, okay, that person is really confident, they really love themselves, look, they feel like they're living their best lives, but are they really? They're chasing something that they don't have. They don't really have themselves. They don't really have a stable sense of self. And they nervously try to cling on to it by affecting other people's opinions and reality. What they're doing is they're changing somebody's reality with false truths, because it's not actually true what they're saying. It's not actually true what, you know, who they are and the way that they're behaving. So it's not something that can be upheld. It's not something that can be followed through for a long period of time, because it takes a lot of energy to be able to chase and want something. And in the end, the reality is that you can't have it, because that is what obsession is. It's something that you really want, but you can't have. Have any of you ever felt obsession? Have you, any of you ever been obsessed about something or someone? Do you remember that feeling of really wanting that something or that person? And you know, it's going round and round in your mind that you want them, but you can't have them, but you really want them, but you can't have it. And that really is what the narcissist is chasing, is something that doesn't actually exist. There isn't a self that actually exists in this analogy. I know I'm going all philosophical here. But I wanted to explore actually what obsession really is, what it really means, and what we can learn from it actually. An obsession exists in a lack mindset. So if you really look at it, let's do the opposite. So someone who isn't obsessed, someone who is healthy, all right? You know, you are you. All right, you have your personality, you have a stable sense of self, you are rooted within you, all right? And you know who you are. You are different from the person next to you, are different from others. You are you, you know your personality. And so you're not having to chase anything, you can only grow, you can only learn, you can grow, you become better, or you become stronger within time. And that is the opposite. And that is the true sense of healing, actually, if you really think about it. You know, you do grow from this experience. You don't stay stuck. We don't stay stuck, guys. You will get through this. For those of you who are thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to get through this. You are. But it's just, you've got to look at this in a different way. You've got to understand what actually is going on and see this in a different perspective, okay? Because you are going to get through this, all right? It's just because you're thinking that this person was the be all and end all, but it's not. It's not. Really look at it for what it is. Let's do the opposite of what the narcissist does, right? Let's get to know ourselves. Let's get connected to ourselves. And let's actually understand this experience for what it really is, for what it's there to try and teach us. What is the opposite of obsession? It is being rooted, knowing that actually you have it already. You've got it. You have it already. Because then you're not going to live in a lack mindset. It's not going to make you feel like you don't have something, like you've got to feel like you've got to keep chasing something. That is what obsession is. It's the chase, the anxiety, you know, the overcompulsive thoughts, the rumination, the overthinking. They're like, oh my God, it's a really uncomfortable feeling. Although it is very intoxicating and it feels addictive, none of which make us feel good. It makes us feel good for seconds. But in order for us to feel stronger and move past this, all right, we have to have a different mindset. We have to see this in a different way, right? Remember, my friends, mindset is everything. Okay? You're right, Eric. It's about reassuring. You've got it all the time. You've got to keep reassuring. Malika says The Shared Fantasy by Sam Back. Yeah, he's right. It is a shared fantasy. Yes. And at some points in this interaction with the narcissist, whether they are family members, friends, or partners, they make us also feel obsessed. They also make us, they affect us within this obsession, this chasing, that actually we're chasing this narcissist because we're wanting something. They've made us feel like we are less than, or we're not good enough. So we end up quite obsessive, you know, this obsessive thoughts, the obsessive thinking that actually, you know, we are not good enough. We are not this thing. We are not that, because the narcissist makes us feel that, because what happens is we get infected by our energy. Remember, if you're with someone with long periods of time, or you spend a lot of time with that person, you end up thinking like them, you end up behaving like them, you also end up speaking like them. And that's what I mean. They affect you. So of course you're going to be obsessing, you're going to be feeling like this. So the opposite from the obsession is growth. It's a growth mindset, thinking, not living in lack, thinking that you have it, you've got it, you can do it. So each and every one of you who is on this healing journey, you have it, you've got it, you are going to get there. It is about moving forward. Remember, victimhood, obsession, thinking that you are finished, it's over, I'm done. Life is not meant to be like this. You're not meant to experience it in this way. It's not meant to be hard. It's not meant to be, it's not meant to be draining, obsessive, hard. It's meant to be magical, and it actually is. Do you remember when we were kids, guys? Do you remember when we were children? Isn't it funny that we see the world differently now as adults? It's not the same as it was when we were children. It was very magical when we were children. The way we would see things, or the way that we would understand the world, was just full of wonder and amazement. And we paid attention to the little things, didn't we? And somewhere along the way, we forgot to do that. And then lo and behold, adulthood comes, and it's not as fun as childhood, right? So what I'm saying is, this is all a matter of perspective. Remember, in life, everything's about mindset and perspective. The two go hand in hand, to be honest. So it's about how you want to see it, how you want to experience your life, how you want to experience this existence, this reality right now. Remember, you have a choice. Remember when the narcissist also had a choice, and they chose this path. This is their choice. So these are the repercussions of making that choice. We also had a choice when we were children, and we chose this path. Whilst it can be amazing at some points, but you know what? It also has its downfalls. Everything, there is duality. There is a duality in lives. Everything is black and white, up and down, yin and yang. There is this duality that exists within our world, and we can't experience one without the other. And remember, nothing is forever. Nothing. Things are always changing, and so that is what we have to, this is what we have to embrace, is all of it. But it's up to us how we see it, how we interpret. If we want to look at this as the most negative thing in the world, then it will be. And again, there will be pros and cons to that. Victim mentality is addictive. So is self-obsession. It's addictive. It feels good. It feeds the ego. It feeds that pain. It feels good in that moment. It's harder to heal and get out of that. Granted, it is. It's easier to stay in victim mentality. So again, this is about perspective. Each comes with its pros and cons, with its positive and negatives. But it's what you choose. It's the way you want to see it. It's how you want to move through this. Because you all can. And you know what, guys? It's not that you get through this experience and then that's it. We're always learning in life. We're always learning. We're always seeing things differently. We're always learning about ourselves, and that's what it is. Life is one big lesson. Earth is one big school, right? We're learning about being on this planet, existing in this moment. And, this is what I'm saying. Look at things in that wonder, that wonder that you did as a child. Because then it doesn't have judgments. It doesn't have conditioning that we have been that has been forced upon us as we've been growing. So it's about looking at things that actually, you know what, believing in ourselves, believing in our own abilities, and not worrying about what other people think or what other people say. Remember, everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's going to say what they think, and that's fine. And everyone's entitled to their opinion, and that's all right. But that's their opinion. That's what they want to think. You have to look at this and think, right, what is best for me? And I think this is something that maybe a lot of you haven't been taught in childhood, is actually really recognizing what is good for you. What do you want? How do you want your life to be? If you haven't figured it out already, do that. Do that. What do you want from your life? How do you want your life to go? I wanted to be a YouTuber. I did. Or I wanted to get this information out there. And I got it. I did it. And that's what I'm saying. You want something, you go for it. And maybe look at this maybe as an example, just to prove to you that actually you deserve this. I'm not any more special than any one of you. I'm not any better. It's just that I believed and I just kept pushing forward. Believe me, there were some days where I really couldn't be bothered. I really couldn't. Honestly, guys, there are days when I really didn't even know what I was saying. And a lot of you don't know that sometimes I record these videos and they don't go out. I have to record them a few times, but you just got to keep going. All right, it's not easy. I know it's not always easy and not always convenient. But what you're doing is you are paving the way forward. For a lot of you, you are circuit breakers, meaning that within your family, you are the ones that are breaking that circuit of generational trauma. Yeah, a lot of you are breaking those generational patterns. Okay, so you are here to, I don't know, to make a difference. You don't know who is watching. You don't know who is learning from you. So show others that you can and that you will move through this, that you are not what everyone thought. You will get through this. You know, maybe it has been that people have told you that you can't do something, or you can't be someone. You can be anyone you want to be. You can be anyone. Whoever you want to be, it's yours. So you've got to really think about what is your journey and what is your purpose. Because this is what is going to change your perspective. This is what is going to change your mindset. You're right, pay it forward. That's right, Michelle. Please do that, guy next door. Please start shooting again while you're traveling. Do the photos. We'd love to see them. Please tag me in them if you do. Start an Instagram and just put all of your, doesn't matter who sees it or who watches it, but you know what? It's for your pleasure. Do it. Do it with something that you like doing. A lot of us are very creative in this community. And to be creative, that's linked to our emotions. So it's part of our emotional being. So not so much the logical side, but more about the emotional side. So, you know, just do what makes you happy. Yeah, being a creator is tough and a lot of work. Yes, it is. But you know what? There's a lot of fun to it. Eric, I'm in that camp. Haha, lucky me, a spiritual gangster. That's right, Joshua. Yes, the generational curse breaker. I know it comes with its own implications. I get that. But again, as I'm saying, this is all for you. This is all doing this for you. And it's like what I said earlier in the live. It's always been about you, hasn't it? It's always been about you. This is why you got chosen for this journey. You got chosen for this. So look, choose you. All right? Just choose you. Do it for you. Okay? And this journey, you're not doing it for anyone but you. All right? And this is why this experience and this person has been in your life to show you that actually it is about you. Please know how important and how special you actually are. Please see that and choose you to do this work, to get to know yourself, to know that this person is part of your history, but it doesn't make you part of your reality now. Remember, they only exist in your memories, and you can access them whenever you want, if you choose to. And it's about changing your mindset, the perspective on how you see things, on how you want to live your life. Yeah? How do you want to live your life? What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to be? How do you want this to go? And this isn't about that time is running out, because it doesn't matter how old you are or what stage you are in your life. It's never too late. You know, you're not dying right now or tomorrow. You got time. You can do this. Because look, what's the alternative? You're going to stay stuck? You're going to stay stuck in this? Learn from the narcissist. This is what they do. Most of them stay stuck in this perpetual cycle, yeah, of lies, of manipulation, wanting to control someone. And the only reason why they control people is because they want a certain situation to go their way. That's why they do it. They don't do it for anything else. They're just doing it because they want a certain outcome to go a certain way, and so they have to be able to control it. They have to be able to control what people think, what people say. Oh, it's so tiring. It doesn't flow. It's so stiff and so stagnant. But they just got to push it with all that energy, with all that anxiety. It's not easy, is it? It's not even easy being a narcissist. They do, Midnight Blue. That is exactly it. They teach you how not to be. That's exactly true. So just look at them as an example. Like, that is someone who is stuck in rigid patterns of a lack mentality, okay? Because they always think that they don't have it, so they've got to control. They've got to manipulate because they don't have it. So I know, let's do the opposite. Let's do the opposite of what they're doing. Let's think that we do have it. Let's think that we can achieve this, that we can get to where we want to get to. Can you see? Because otherwise, if we're thinking that we can't, we're going to literally be anxious all the time. And these anxious thoughts are going to get us to overthink, then OCD, then you become obsessive. Can you see where this is going? And then you can't live your life because you feel sad. Oh dear. And the list goes on. It's just a very sad existence. But when you have a different mindset, look at all the things that you can have. Look at all the things that you'll be able to draw to you, all the new opportunities, the new people. And then you start visualizing, you start manifesting things. Believe me, manifestation is real. That plaque that's sitting on the floor right now, that has been manifestation. That is my manifestation come true. It does work. You know, it is a thing. This is why I always say to you, you can be and do whatever you want. There are no limits. You've got to understand how powerful you actually are. And this is all about connection to yourself. You've got to start trusting in yourself. Start believing in yourself. If you're going to tell yourself a certain narrative, like, I can't, this doesn't happen for me, this happens for everybody else and not me. So you're feeding that narrative, okay? And your ears are always listening, always. Even when you're saying it in your head, they're listening. And so that gets sent to your brain. And your brain decodes those messages, all right? And those messages, that internal dialogue, is what the brain believes to be true. So what happens is it brings up a manifestation of it. I can't, this doesn't happen to me, everybody else is lucky and I'm not. So then that forms that belief. And then you believe that. And then what you do is you see it, because that belief matches what you see. And that's how the cycle goes on. It just keeps going on and on and on. And it's like, as well with a narcissist. Visual Savage, thank you so much. Thank you. My narc ex texted me accusing me of logging into accounts while I was on vacation and threatened to get a lawyer. Is this a form of hoovering? Yeah, I would say it's a threat. And she, I don't know, has she got proof of this? Probably not. And also, yeah, I would say it's a hoover. I would say it's a hoover. She's trying to get your attention. And I don't think anything will happen. I don't think she'll get a lawyer in. It's just to get your attention. That's all it is. If I was you, all right, I would just don't give her too much over explaining, just a simple no, I didn't, and that's it. Don't go into it to try and explain it, to try and over exaggerate it or anything like that. Just be minimal, just like no, I didn't, and whatever. See what she does next, because I think you're right. This is more about just trying to see what your next move is going to be. So unless you want to get hoovered, just be aware that this is what is happening. It's a lie, isn't it? At the end of the day, like I did a video about this not so long ago. They just like pop out of nowhere with this like accusation, and you're like, what? So look, Visual Savage, just be as brief as possible. Don't over explain, and yeah, over justify. Just no, I didn't. That's it. Hope that helps. Yeah, Rachel's right, and she's trying to ruin your holiday, like your vacation, like probably to get you to think about her. Yeah, she could be projecting. Stephen also is right. Yeah, she could be projecting too. Check your accounts. Yeah, you're not allowed to have a good time. You're right, Eric. Yeah, just be aware of that. So my friends, yes, the self-obsession. The self-obsession. That's what it looks like. There's so many layers to this, isn't there? There's so many layers of this. And can you see how the mind of this person works? Can you see that it has like this, like this snowball effect? Is one thing affects this part then affects that part, this part. Yes, it's a circus. Bruno, you are right. It's literally a circus. And every time you're around someone who is toxic or narcissistic, they do bring the circus to your door. They bring chaos to your door. You're like, oh my God, this is just too much. Yeah, it's just too much. It's too much. It affects every part of their life. It really does. And they don't know any other way to be. It comes from a dysfunctional ego. It comes from a part of them that actually they are unable to self-soothe. They're not able to regulate their emotions. And so that's why this is very chaotic. And it's like what I said earlier, let's learn from this. Let's not do that. Let's learn from that and become stronger in ourselves and remove that attention, that energy, that kindness, that compassion, that patience from them, and give that to ourselves, because that is what is important, is if we give that to ourselves, because we deserve it. And this is our life. This is our life. This is our existence right now. And we deserve it. We deserve to have that. Why are we going to be a slave for someone else? That's what you have to remember. We cannot be a slave, an emotional slave, and make sure that everybody else is happy and then you forget about yourself. That's not how it works. Okay, this is about you. And I'm not saying you have to get obsessed with yourself. No, it's not. I know you wouldn't. It's not about that. It's about healthy measures. Look after yourself. Protect you. Okay? Don't want to be handing out all of your lovely assets, all of your money from your bank to other people so that they just take it. Okay? It's for you. It's for you to enjoy. It's for you to have. Okay? That's what it's about. So guys, I really hope that you have enjoyed this live. I've got to say that I have really enjoyed myself. I can't actually believe that it has been so long, and it's actually this is the time. I can't believe it. I have really missed it, but it was really difficult for me to actually get like a stable connection. Actually, it was really difficult because I was traveling, and although I did really enjoy it, I did really miss doing the lives. And I've got to say that actually before I came on here, I was a bit nervous. I was thinking, oh my God, am I going to be able, do I know what to say? Like, oh my God, what's going to happen? You know, like I got a little bit nervous because I was thinking, I'm going to forget what I was doing. Because you know, when you get into like a rhythm, like into a flow, like obviously now, yeah, I feel fine. I'm like, oh, it was okay. Like it was fine. I didn't like stutter. I didn't stop, you know, so it was fine. It was okay. And, you know, I really, really missed it. And it's really lovely to see you guys. And thank you for joining. Again, I really am grateful, you know, for your time and for you guys being here. And for all of you actually sharing this moment with me, actually, with this. Like, I still actually can't believe it. You share this moment with me. Like, this is so amazing. The next one is going to be 1 million. I think that's the gold one, but I'm really grateful for this. This is actually, you know what, you guys, thank you. And yes, Yang, Discord. So if you guys want to have a supportive community, someone who is like-minded individuals, you know, this is more like a peer support, people who have been through similar experiences. Join the Discord server. Yang will be on there as well. Here is the link for you to join. It's absolutely free, guys. It's absolutely free. Go and have a look. Go and check it. It's a great place for like further support, you know, in between the kind of the lives, because I think a lot of you guys are already on there, but if you're not, go and check it out. The link is there in the live chat, and it's also going to be in the description box as well for those of you who are watching the replay. Thank you very much, Eric. You're always so lovely with your comments. Thank you. Thank you, M. Singh. Yes, let's chat again very soon. Absolutely. So I will be back, guys. I will be back next Tuesday at 9 p.m. UK time. I don't know, each and every one of you like have different time zones, so I know it's different times, but I do really appreciate you. Thank you. And I also appreciate you, Oxford. Thank you so much. Love you too, and thank you so much on your kindness. Bless you. Thank you. This is honestly like, I really still am just like yeah, so yeah, you've shared that moment with me, and thank you all of you for being on here and for your time. I really am grateful for it. I know that each and every one of you have like busy lives. Yes, Eric's 4 p.m. where you are. I know like so a lot of you like are at work, and I know that not everyone can join every week, but I'm so grateful to each and every one of you. Yes, so tomorrow is my dad's birthday. We will be going to a dinner, and he loves his jazz. So there's like this band playing. It's going to be boring. But, sorry, I keep jogging. But still, we have to go. So it will be, I will, if you want to follow me over on Instagram, that's more kind of like a place where if you want to get to know me a little bit more, do join me over on Instagram. And also I do have a TikTok. This is where mostly like, I do like shorter videos, and I talk more on, like I talk a little bit like, it's very, yeah, it's shorter videos. I guess that's what I was trying to say. Yes. So join me over on TikTok. M Singh, absolutely. North London massive, absolutely. Yes. It's been lovely to meet you as well, Michelle. And guys, just want to say thank you so much for joining me. Yes, I will be back next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Oh God, I nearly forgot. And also I do have a video coming out every day this week at 8 p.m. So guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all a lovely week, and I will see you or catch you all. Do you, Joshua? You like jazz? I will catch you all. Oh, God. My dad listens to it like all the time, every Sunday when he's doing the barbecue or he's cooking or he's doing something. Blasted jazz. He puts it on so loud you can't even talk to one another. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Good night.